Launched in 2014, the Mark 7 and 7.5 Golf R has been a resounding success for Volkswagen. In hatchback form alone, it shifted almost 30,000 units, while in 2019, nearly 10% of all Golfs sold were R models.
Such numbers will have thrilled the bosses at VW, but the Golf R's success is far greater than mere sales figures on a spreadsheet, more relevant to petrol heads like you and me. In short, it's helped change everything we expect from a performance car. And here's why.
Reason number one, it's fast.
The Golf R may have undergone a detune on later models, but it's still putting out a beefy 296 brake horsepower and 295 pounds-foot of torque. That's enough for 0 to 62 miles an hour in 4.6 seconds and a limited top speed of 155 miles an hour. Figures that not so long ago would be troubling a Porsche 911. But it's the way that the Golf R puts its power down that really grabs your attention. The Haldex all-wheel drive system takes every last ounce of oomph and deploys it to the road with zero commotion, regardless of what the road surface underneath is like. In the real world, there's not that much that's quicker than a Golf R. It's not overly clinical, however. I say that because there's a commonly held belief that because of the Golf R's crushing competence, some people think it's not that fun or engaging to drive quickly.
Yes, it's not as raw as a front-wheel drive Civic Type R or Megane RS, but even after just a few minutes behind the wheel, you start to appreciate that there's a real cohesion to the whole package.
The steering is positive and direct, the chassis with the optional adaptive dampers is pliant, and the all-wheel drive system allows a friendly and adjustable balance through corners. It's just such a satisfying car to drive quickly, and one that can keep up with far more expensive rivals.
Which brings us on to the second reason. The Golf R was surprisingly good value. Okay, they weren't cheap in the conventional sense. You can easily blow over £40,000 on one, but if you knew where to look, you could put a brand new Golf R on your driveway for less than £200 a month. All thanks to some very convenient timing.
See, the Golf R was launched at exactly the same time as a boom in the contract tyre market. Post-recession, it was a win-win for both borrowers and lenders thanks to the minimal risks involved for each party. The upshot was that there were some truly outrageous deals going on brand new Golf Rs. You could genuinely run one for less than the average bank loan repayments on a VW Polo.
The contract hire and PCP markets are still going strong and allow customers to get behind the wheel of cars that they could never normally afford. Looking back, the Golf R was one of the first and most significant examples of this, changing the way we bought performance cars forever. But what if you wanted even more from your hot hatch? What if you wanted an extra 70 brake horsepower, say?
Thanks to the art of remapping, anyone with a Golf R can quickly and cheaply unlock considerable performance gains at little over an hour at a reputable tuner. Of course, you could do this with any car really, but the Golf R's 2-litre TSI petrol engine was especially exploitable.
Aftermarket tuners Revo specialise in Volkswagen Group vehicles and confirmed that remap packages on the Gen 3 EA888 unit and the Golf R are some of the most popular products. Crediting the quality of the standard engine, they're able to extract gains of up to 74 brake horsepower from a quick £600 Stage 1 remap. No extra parts are required.
With this installed, 0 to 60 mile an hour times drop to 3.7 seconds. 3.7 in a Golf. That's faster than a Ferrari F430. And the best bit is that you can do that on the way back from IKEA with a Billy bookcase in the boot. This is already a fast car, but you really don't have to do much or spend much or even know much to make it even quicker.
And now, onto the final reason. It's a Golf. The same Golf that's one of the most synonymous, big-selling and downright popular cars on the planet. No other car holds such a universal appeal. It doesn't matter whether you're old, young, male or female, or even whether you care about cars, the Golf is, and always has been, desirable.
What this means for the Golf R is that there's not really any compromise involved in using one every day. The all-wheel drive monsters of yesteryear, like the Mitsubishi Evo and the Subaru Impreza, were brilliant performance machines, but anyone who owned one will tell you that they weren't the easiest things to live with.
Poor fuel economy, outdated infotainment, a rock-hard ride, massive turbo lag, all of which were common issues and meant that you had to make sacrifices in order to own one.
The Golf, on the other hand, doesn't ask you to sacrifice anything. It's got a comfortable ride, the infotainment system's great, there's dealers everywhere, and I'm getting nearly 40 miles per gallon. Die-hard petrol heads may weep at such logic, but for the majority, the Golf R allows you to have your cake and eat it.
What this Golf R has done is bring the performance car beyond the world of the enthusiast. It's helped make it normal and in some ways even expected. Hitting 60 miles an hour in less than 5 seconds is no longer that exceptional or rare.
You could see that as a negative, as a watering down of our beloved speed machines. But look at the bigger picture. Cars like the R, the Cupra, the A45, the S3, they've simply raised the bar of what's normal and readily available. To stand out now, performance cars have to be better than they ever have done. And much of that is down to this, the Golf R.